Right now, a death investigation in Walworth County. We're covering the early details as officials investigate how this happened.
And looking ahead to next week, we could be dealing with a wintry mix Monday night into Tuesday. Full details in just a few minutes.
And an armed man shot after driving into President Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate. Secret Service is sharing what they found at the scene. That's all coming up tonight at 5:30. Good evening and thanks for joining in. My name is Tanasia Shaw. I'm filling in for Jalen Banks tonight. We're starting with a death investigation in Walworth County Saturday night. Walworth Sheriff's Department arrested one person of interest connected to this case. This happened in Elkhorn, where authorities responded to a disturbance call near Pine Court and Balsam Drive. There, first responders say a fight left two men injured. Officials later found a 62-year-old woman dead in a home. Right now, we do not know how the victim died or the name of the suspect. The Sheriff's Department says this is an isolated incident. And now we're going to turn to weather. Let's get a look at your certified most accurate forecast with meteorologist Blaze Keller. Blaze, we might see another wintry mix tomorrow.
That's right. We're looking at Monday night into Tuesday for that wintry mix to move on through. A few flurries right now, but in comparison to what we saw towards the end of last week, Monday night into Tuesday's system is going to be on the lighter side. Feels like 6 degrees in Madison. We're taking a live look there on our Edgewater Skycam. Looks like a few people are still out enjoying the ice. Again, continue to use caution if you're venturing out on the ice. Because of our warm temperatures last week, it may be on the thinner side. When looking at Radar 3000, there is a little bit of snow still lingering across parts of Dane County, Dodge, as well as Jefferson counties. Just to the east of downtown Madison, Deerfield, Stoughton, into Fort Atkinson, north into Watertown, Johnson Creek as well. Light in nature, and these will continue to be on and off as we go throughout the rest of this evening. We're looking ahead Monday into Tuesday. That's what our next system will move on through, bringing us snow, breezy conditions, as well as that wintry mix Tanasia mentioned, how much snow we could see, and if that's the only chance for snow next week in the full forecast.
All right, Blaze. Thank you. Tomorrow, construction will resume on 2 streets in Madison's downtown. East Main and South Hancock Street will close at 7 in the morning to allow for the replacement of underground infrastructure. Crews are working to replace underground infrastructure in specific areas. East Main will be closed to traffic from South Webster to South Franklin, and South Hancock will be closed to traffic from East Washington to East Main Street. It's important to know that the South Hancock cul-de-sac south of East Wilson will also be closed to traffic. East Wilson, however, will not be affected. Now, we don't know the end date of this phase of construction, but the entire East Main and South Hancock Street project will be completed by June 25th. And this morning, an armed man with a shotgun was shot and killed at Mar-a-Lago. Officials say he was trying to enter President Donald Trump's Florida estate. CBS News' Kristen Benvenidez has the details.
U.S. Secret Service agents said Sunday that an armed man was shot and killed after entering the secure perimeter of Mar-a-Lago, President Trump's Florida estate. According to sources, the man has since been identified as 21-year-old Austin Tucker Martin of North Carolina. It was around 1:30 Sunday morning when authorities say the gunman, armed with a shotgun and gas canister, made his way just inside the inner perimeter of the state. The president was in Washington and not at his Florida home at the time.
A deputy and 2 Secret Service agents on the detail went to that area to investigate. They confronted a white male that was carrying a gas can and a shotgun.
Palm Beach County Sheriff Rick Bradshaw says he pointed the weapon directly at officers.
Only words that we said to him was drop the items, which means the gas can and the shotgun. He put the gas can down and pointed the shotgun at officers.
The man was shot and killed by responding officers. The FBI is taking the lead on the ongoing investigation into the shooting. Cristian Benavides, CBS News.
Right now, Beaver Dam Fire Department are investigating an overnight apartment fire. Here is what we know right now. The fire started in a basement of a house. Thankfully, crews say they controlled the fire rather quickly. There aren't any injuries and no one was hurt during the fire. Crews are now looking into what caused the fire in the first place. And now to Lafayette County, where a 54-year-old man is is injured after crashing into a bridge Saturday morning. This happened near Bethel Grove Road in the town of Belmont around 6:30 in the morning. The man is expected to survive and is charged with failure to tell police about an accident and failure to control a vehicle. And one of the largest dog shows in the Midwest concluded today. Our Maya Tate was there to learn more about dog show culture.
Now, when you hear the word dog show, you might think of the extravagant Westminster Dog Show. But did you know Madison has its very own competition? The Renaissance Cluster of Dog Shows is one of the largest shows in the Midwest, hosted annually by 2 groups from the American Kennel Club. As one of the first major events on the show calendar following the conclusion of the Westminster Dog Show, the competition sees 3,000 dogs spanning 48 states, 5 countries, and 220 breeds. The event welcomes newcomers to enter and get a taste of a competitive dog show. Doug Belter, a dog handler, says that with this job, it's usually a 14 to 16-hour day.
You have to be really dedicated to want to do it. It's not necessarily just the grooming and the showing. It's the keeping them healthy on the road.
Even though the end goal of a competition is to win, there's more to the show than that. It's also the friendships that are made along the way.
It's like going to a class reunion. The dog community is one big, gigantic family. And even though we're all here to beat each other, we're a close-knit family.
This show isn't just for dog handlers either.
This is a very good place that if you want to either just to have a family pet, or maybe you want to get your children involved in junior handling, or you want to start a dog show career, this is a good place to learn how.
Whether you want to get into the field or you just find dogs cute, the Renaissance Cluster of Dogs Show has something for everyone. Reporting in Madison, Maya Tate, News 3 Now.
Maya, thank you. The annual event lasts for 4 days at the Alliant Energy Center every year in February. And News 3 Now is continuing to celebrate Black History Month. A Madison nonprofit is helping students excel in their careers. We're highlighting how Women in Focus is opening doors for students of color. And people are stressed out after TSA PreCheck is denied. We're hearing from travelers and an update from TSA.
You're watching News 3 Now at 5:30, moving forward.
It's the last week of Black History Month, but a group of women are opening doors for students of color 365. Our Michelle Renee Quinn is covering how Women in Focus funds the future through scholarships and literacy.
For many families, the cost of higher education is a defining barrier. For Black students, that barrier intersects with broader inequities in resources, support, and opportunity. Women in Focus sees its scholarships as a critical tool to disrupt that cycle.
Our scholarships are like a catalyst, if you will. They really open doors of opportunities by alleviating that financial burden.
With a lack of resources such as mental health and mentorships, Women in Focus helps remove that financial barrier and attempts to bridge those inequities to students.
And when you take away that financial burden, students are able to open up more. They're able to open up to their creative potential. They're able to open up to more risk-taking and experiencing more out of their academic journey, so they're not worrying so much about how am I going to make these ends meet.
Scholarships are just one piece of the puzzle. Women in Focus also invest early in the literacy of children of color by working directly with parents and young mothers on reading with their children.
Getting books into the hands of children and working with parents and community members to continue to push reading on young children. Because if we can plant that seed early, we know that that confidence is going to build over time. And that confidence then is going to lead to the expectation of, I deserve more education. I deserve higher achievement in my life. And that does start with literacy.
Adney says Black History Month isn't just about celebrating Blackness or being Black.
It's about Black students sharing with all Americans their identity, their culture, their history, and just our shared American experience.
She shares this message to young Black scholars.
See your legacy, own it, take it with you, and just keep going, keep growing, keep learning, keep being hungry for opportunity and self-exploration and for helping others and giving back to your community, giving to yourself and giving to others, and taking the time to celebrate yourself. And in that celebration, let other people be a part of it.
That's our Michelle Renee Quinn. Women in Focus has scholarship opportunities open each fall. If you're interested in getting more involved with the organization, visit womeninfocusmadison.org. PreCheck and Global Entry is back after the Department of Homeland Security temporarily suspended the security programs. DHS said the programs would be suspended because of the partial government shutdown this morning. Just hours later, TSA said that the PreCheck programs are, quote, operational with no change for the traveling public, end quote. PreCheck and Global Entry are two of the most used travel security programs. Travelers that were impacted by the short-lived suspension spoke out earlier today.
It's really frustrating. I think same thing as Seth said, like I felt like I had a privilege and I paid for it, and it's kind of frustrating when we show up, didn't realize it was happening because now we showed up because we thought we had PreChecks and now we have to go wait in the regular line, and I don't know how it's going to look, but we'll see.
TSA also added that staffing changes would be evaluated on a case-by-case basis. And we're getting another check of the weather tonight. We're going to look at Beloit really quickly. Believe it or not, it's another wintry mix that might be ahead of us. Blaze has more after the break.
All right, we are looking at a quiet evening for the most part. Breezy at times, but for the most part quiet. And we'll start off the last full week of February on the sunny, quiet side as well. Not as warm as maybe some of us would like to have our temperatures, especially compared to last Monday, but we will be cool still, but not as windy. So that will at least alleviate some of that wind chill that was around throughout the day today. Our next system on the horizon arriving Monday night into Tuesday. So we are going to be underneath mostly clear conditions, so plenty of sunshines, especially for the first half of the day. By the afternoon, we might start to see a little bit more cloud cover move on in, and especially overnight into Tuesday is when a lot of that cloud cover will move back in overhead, because we are expecting that next system to impact us as we start off Tuesday. Waking up tomorrow morning, it may feel below zero for most of southern Wisconsin, especially for folks west of the Wisconsin River, Vernon, Crawford, Richland, Grant counties, where we picked up all that snow last week. That is where our wind chill values will be anywhere between 10 to about 15 degrees below zero. Folks further to the east, not as bad, but still a few degrees below zero waking up. On Monday, by the afternoon, it will start to feel a little bit better, but we are going to be about 5 to 10 degrees below our actual air temperatures because of those northerly winds. But it will get better, not only with wind chills, but actual temperatures. We are back into the upper 30s to low 40s Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, at least in those 30s. By Friday, we briefly slip into those mid to upper 40s before settling into the low 40s to go into the final weekend of February. We're eyeing two systems, Monday night into Tuesday, and then Wednesday night into Thursday to impact parts of central and southern Wisconsin. The first one, Monday night and throughout Tuesday, is really going to impact, I would say, northeastern Wisconsin, Green Bay, Door County, the Northwoods. But further to the south, we'll still get a little bit of snow, a little bit of a rain-snow mix as well, along with some breezy conditions, particularly as we go into the second half of Monday as temperatures warm on up. But if we take future track all the way through these next two systems, Monday night into Tuesday and then Wednesday into Thursday, a lot of us really don't pick up a lot of snow. Wednesday's system is going to primarily impact southwestern Wisconsin, Grant County, Crawford County, maybe parts of Lafayette County there. If that system were to travel a bit further north and east, then we might get upwards of 1 inch to 1.5 inches, which is nothing compared to what is going to be falling and accumulating across the East Coast there. Blizzard warnings from really Maine all the way south into parts of the Carolinas. So while they deal with the blizzard, we will deal with just cold temperatures on Monday and Tuesday, that mix. Looking ahead to the final weekend of February, possibly another rain-snow mix before March starts off on the cooler side in the 30s with mostly cloudy conditions.
All right, I know we're about to talk about the seasons for Wisconsin that's coming to an end, but you know, that's coming to an end, but I want the winter season to come to an end, personally.
Slowly but surely, we still got just technically about a week left. It does end technically March 1st. for like meteorologists, but for you guys, I think it's a little bit longer.
All right, but it's not longer the season for Wisconsin hockey and basketball.
Yeah, coming up, the Badgers had a chance to clinch the WCHA regular season championship. Plus, Wisconsin men's basketball had a Big Ten matchup this afternoon at the Kohl Center. And in the pros, the Bucks were back in Milwaukee for the first time in weeks. Stick around for more in sports.
And now, News 3 Now Sports, brought to you by TDS.
We are just a couple of weeks away from tournament season for men's college basketball. The 24th ranked Badgers, still in their long stretch of Big Ten play, had a big-time matchup this afternoon against Iowa Hawkeyes. Bucky, who is still trying to work out some late-season inconsistencies, had a good test at home today. Wisconsin, starting off a little slow, was able to find a big basket here from behind the arc from the Aussie Austin Rapp. Now to the Badgers' next possession just a few seconds later. Why not give it another try? Rapp pulling up from deep finds the net again. The big man would finish with 14 points, shooting 4 for 5 from 3. At the end of one, Wisconsin would trail 41-40. The second half, however, would be all Bucky. Nick Boyd stays red hot. Watch this drive through the lane and the finish. Number 2 would have 27 points on the day. The Badgers take care of business against the Hawkeyes, taking this one 84-71. Earlier this morning was the final regular season game for the number 1 ranked Wisconsin women's hockey team. With a win today, the Badgers would clinch the WCHA regular season championship, tying Minnesota with the most all-time at 11. The hockey season is reaching its most exciting time of the year, but before that, I should say, Bucky would look to end the season on a 5-game winning streak. The Badgers, who scored 9 goals yesterday, look to keep the floodgates open today against the Huskies. Early on, Wisconsin on the power play, one of the most dangerous units in all of Wisconsin women's hockey, and they show why right away. Lacey Eden with a perfect pass through some traffic sets up Lainey Potter, who one-times it into the back of the net. We head now to early in the second. Maggie Scannell dumping the puck in deep and chases right for it. She beats the defense, moves the puck to the high slot where it finds the stick of Mackenzie Jones, who has a perfect shot, getting her first goal of the season. The Badgers up 2-0. Fast forward to the third. Bucky's still up 2, but it looks a bit different. Watch this all-out effort play from Cassie Hall, who weaves through 2 defenders, gets to the front of the net, and finds a gap in the goalie's pads to add some insurance to the Badgers' lead. Wisconsin ends the regular season with a 4-2 win over St. Cloud State, clinching back-to-back WCHA regular season championships. The top-seeded Badgers will host Bemidji State in the first round of the WCHA Final Face-Off. It's been quite some time since Bucks fans have been able to head to Pfizer Forum to watch some basketball. But for the first time since February 6th, the Deer were back out on the court. Milwaukee was hosting the Raptors, who are in town trying to cool down the Bucks, who have won 6 of their past 7. Still without superstar Giannis Antetokounmpo, but in the dwindling seconds of the first quarter, watch this sequence of events. Kevin Porter Jr. putting the defender on skates and getting the step-back 3 to fall. He would finish with 21 points. However, Toronto looking to respond, and that is exactly what they do, matching the bucket as the clock expires. We break now from the first half. The Bucks now trailing after getting outscored by 14 in the second. Here, though, Kyle Kuzma on the fast break is able to get an easy bucket. But for Milwaukee, it would not be a whole lot to want to take away from today, as the Raptors win big, winning by 28, 122-94. We will be right back in a few minutes.
Blaze, I think Nash and I can agree that last week we felt every temperature possible for a Wisconsin February. What are we going to expect this week?
This week is going to be a little more tame. We are looking at the 30s and 40s after settling into the teens tonight underneath cloudy conditions. A few flurries here and there can't be ruled out, but in terms of accumulating snow, not expecting that tonight. 30s and 40s for the final full week of February and the weekend as well. We're looking into the start of March, that following Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday on 2 systems. Monday night into Tuesday, and then again Wednesday into Thursday. Both going to bring a light chance for snow. The first one, northeastern Wisconsin. The second one, southwestern Wisconsin. If all things hold together, we'll maybe see a rain-snow mix to really wrap up February with some flurries lingering into the start of March.
All right, so this week is looking more like winter.
Yeah, a little bit more, calm.
All right, we'll be back tonight at 10.